are the suggestions for the Finance Minister?
I would want the finance minister to be extremely brave and continue to be very aggressive in his outlook and focus on structural measures, irrespective of maybe when the benefits reap on.
One takeaway that you can get from IIM Ahmedabad is to increase the investment in infrastructure. For example, building linkages between the rural economy and the urban economy through roadways, cold storages. All of those are really essential steps. If we bring the farmer closer to his or her markets, so that they can sell their wares directly rather than having a middleman in between, right? And encouraging them, providing better irrigation facilities, seeds, fertilizers, soil quality, bringing in top-notch research in the agriculture field itself, all of that is really going to push everything in a positive way. So I think rather than going for farm loan waivers or setting higher MSPs, it makes more sense to invest in the structural changes which are going to take care of the rest of the impacts by themselves.
There are 3 or 4 major schemes through which MHRD functions, like ICDS, midday meal, and National Rural Health Mission for children. So those allocations are not at par with the actual demand. So states have been asking for money, but since we don't have any allocation, we are not able to provide them the money. So that means schools have been there, the facility for kitchen has been there for preparing midday meals, but the allocation has been reduced. The food is not getting cooked there. So we know how much money needs to be spent on these schemes, because those estimates have already been provided by the respective ministries to the finance minister. It's now in the hand of finance minister rather than approve those estimates or allocate money according to the continuing trend.
If you look at the overall economy, and if you look at even China, it has had a very high percentage of GDP spending on infrastructure building, and it has been for over 3 decades, which has been able to help to sustain high growth for the economy. So which also needs to be done for India. So as a percentage of GDP, you need to increase your spending on infrastructure, and the main problem with that is that it gives it benefits in the long term, and it's not immediate. So it's kind of a hard pill to take, that it's like taking a hard step. Okay, I'll spend this money on infra, which will give its benefit in the long term. But I think so, to sustain high growth over a period of time, over decades, it is a necessary step which needs to be taken.
One key takeaway from what all we feel is that the government is definitely looking from a long-term perspective. There have been a lot of recent changes such as GST and other new laws that have come in, and we feel that it's important that we do not introduce many new structural reforms at this particular point of time, and maybe continue with whatever good initiatives that have been started and focus on the implementation part of it, and ensure that what has been started achieves its objectives. So I think that should be the main focus. And even last year's budget had a good number of initiatives that have been started off, and I think emphasis can be placed on continuing them rather than only focusing on new initiatives.
For more updates on budget, visit timesnownews.com.